Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to the Miss Lillian's page. I am Crysta, and got it. There we go. That's better. Um, my son is just ran in the other room, but so he will be sharing out here in just a minute. Welcome to the Miss Lillian's page. I'm Crysta Barrera, furniture artist out of Berry, Texas. And as you guys know, my studio is still a wreck. And so I'm in the living room again. So I wanted to talk today because it is planting season. For people that have gardens, what we do is we take our seeds indoors and sow them to get them little sprouts. There's a lot of things you can go and you can buy lots of stuff if you want, but there's a lot of things that you can recycle, you can upcycle in order to pot your plants in. And I've been saving a couple of just my 10 cans. And so I'm going to be starting some of my plants in these. Now, what I'm using is my Pro Stick. And what this is that this is a bonding prep. It comes in white and gray. And this is going to allow my paint to adhere. What this does, think of it as paint glue. Okay, that's what it is. It's paint glue. So you normally, if you paint on metal, concrete, PVC, glass, anything like that, you can just go like this and scrape it off. Okay. So what your Pro Stick primer is going to do is it is going to allow your paint. It's like it's paint glue basically. So it's going to adhere to this and it's going to make your paint stick so you can't just scratch it off. So this is a good way to upcycle items that you have in your house. And what I'm going to do is I've got my hand up in it and you just use it just like you would normal paint. And I'm not going to paint the bottom because who's going to see the bottom? And I will let this dry. And then normally I do, if I'm doing a piece of very slick furniture, something that's got a factory finish, something like that, then I want to make sure that I've got two good coats. But I'm one of those people that aesthetics matter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer to this and then I can paint over top of it and have my paint stick. And so these don't look like tin cans sitting in my windowsill. Now, something else cool that you can do for my upcycle friends, my friends that like to upcycle, which I do. I tell people all the time, I'm a baller on a budget, and I take what you have to make things better. And just a little bit of paint, you can always take something that you have laying around your house, and you're going to see me doing a lot of gardening items coming up here. You know, I've got garden decor that I do. You can pick stuff up very inexpensively at places like Walmart, Target, even your local thrift shop. And you can just paint them and let them go. Hey, Marilyn. Marilyn is on with me. And so this is the first step. And also what you can do this on, I like to save my egg cartons if you can do it in plastic egg cartons, which you can paint as well. You can also, I like to use my cardboard egg cartons. You can paint those as well. Your ceramic pots. I don't like painting my terracotta pots because terracotta is made to have the moisture and the air breathe for your plants. And when you add paint to it, it will seal them off. And so I don't recommend doing terracotta. You can. I do have a pot over here that I'm going to show you guys in just a minute that had a really cute design on it, but it was just white and it didn't have any color. So, all right. So just that easy. That's one coat of your Pro Stick. And like I said, I look at it, I call it's paint glue. It makes it, that's my glue that's going to make my paint stick on all of your surfaces that you can paint that. So, what you can also do is that if you have PVC piping laying around, maybe you did a home project and you've got an extra piece of PVC pipe, you can always get one of those circular drills that makes the holes, and you can cut holes in the top of that PVC pipe, and you can use the Pro Stick on it and paint those as well, and you can use those as planters. So there's already a couple of different things that you can paint for your garden. This is a pot. It's a ceramic pot that I picked up, and I really like the design on it. See, it's got the mushrooms. Very, very cute, right? But it's just black and white. And if you guys know me, I like my color. I do. I love my color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an inexpensive artist brush, and I am just going to go into the areas, because this is very, very slick. Let's see how that shine on it? It's very, very slick. And I'm going to take my artist brush, and I'm going to go into the areas that and go around where I want my paint. And then once this dries, I can come back with my colors. And honestly, I can just go over the whole area. I can cover up the black and then come back with black paint, a very thin artist brush later, and put that detail back in. So I'm just going over the areas that I want painted. And if I wanted to, I could paint this whole thing with my Pro Stick and then paint the whole thing, because since, let's see here, I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's got the recesses in it. You hear that? It's my nail going over the recesses. I could paint this, you know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Ha! Told you guys, I start off with a plan. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint this whole thing. And then I could do a blend method on it. I can do whatever I want. And then since it has those recesses, I'm still going to have the pattern there that I can follow and do my decorations on, and it will come through. But this is a nice way, just because love the pattern, hate the black and white. So I'm a color girl. I love my colors. And where the recesses are, you may have to tap it and then smooth it to get into the little crevices. But you see, just one coat. And then once this dries, I will be able to go over. Now, Pro Stick, I absolutely love. It does come in a white and gray. So for this project, I'm using white, but the gray also has, if I was doing a piece of, let's say, white IKEA furniture, sometimes when you're painting with the Pro Stick in white, what happens is that you can't see where you painted because it's white on white. And so since this product comes in a couple of different colors, it is perfect. So if you use the gray, it is perfect because you can see exactly where you've already painted. But for this, I'm just going over it with white, and that way I can still see that black underneath. And this is a different shade of white. So probably on camera, it kind of looks like white on white, but in person, in real life, I can see exactly where I'm painting because it is a different shade. And there we go. Now, normally, and I will say normally because my life hasn't been normal for a while, but normally, and if I wanted this to be a very smooth finish, right now I'm using a chip brush just because these are tin cans. You can use a synthetic bristle brush, something that is much smoother, and you will get a smoother quality. For this one, since I'm kind of doing the country chic, I do want them a little bit, just a little bit, you know, with some texture on it. I do recommend that you let this dry, the first coat, for about an hour before you do the second coat, because I'm sitting here looking at it going, yeah, it's not ready for a second coat yet. But tin cans, egg cartons, PVC. Let's see here. What else? Glass. If you have throughout the year, if you save your mason jars from like your spaghetti sauce, you can use your Pro Stick on those and you can paint them. And then you can set up your propagation stations and still have color. One of the things that I was thinking about doing with these, and I'm not sure that I will, is that if you have any of your reclaimed like barnwood, or you have post from a fence, like we have a fence, a wooden fence that was here that we're taking down. And what you can do is you can get you some of those clamps that go around, and you can nail these or clamp them onto a board, and you can hang them on your wall, on a wall, and that way you have a propagation station, or you can put ivies in to come to hang down. Also a great organizer for your bathroom if you've got that rustic look, and you can do that. So that's what we have going on. Really thought that was going to take longer. So I need to, hey Stacy, thanks for joining me, hon. These seed pots, these are starter pots, and these are, what are these things made out of? They're biodegradable. Miss Lillian's is non-toxic. It's not going to put the chemicals into your food that you're planting. And that's one of the reason that I use Miss Lillian's. It's not toxic. And so if I wanted to, and I've got some bigger, you can always take stencils. If you had a pot like this that was normal, I say normal, doesn't have all the cute little stuff ingrained on the side, you can always take your stencils with your Miss Lillian's and go around the pots to match your decor. Now my plan, because I really thought this was going to take longer, is I want to use my Miss Lillian's metallics on this, but they're not drying because it's usually when I use my Pro Stick, it's a little bit warmer. It's not that warm today, but I'm going to be using my Miss Lillian's metallic. I've got Jasper and I've got Grape Expectations. Look at that color. That is Grape Expectations. And this is Jasper. On these, you can, on the tin cans, you can, one of the things, these miniature, I love the miniatures. It's very, very rare that I buy the 4 or the 8 ounces in the metallics. I get the samplers because not a lot of people, now if I'm going to do a whole dresser, yes, I'll get the 8 or the 16. I love the sampler kits because you get 3 colors. They're usually coordinating colors, and you colors that will go together are ones that are in the same family. And I love that just because I have more colors in my arsenal to choose from and less expense. So a little bit of metallic goes a very, very, very long way. I do recommend for the Pro Stick primer, to go back to the Pro Stick, when I use Pro Stick, I use one of my inexpensive chip brushes. When you rinse this stuff down, now if I can go get a bucket outside and rinse it, that's fine. Since this is a slick surface bonding prep, what happens if you wash this for, let's see here how to put this. If you're a home painter and you're going to just use the Pro Stick once, great. For someone like me, this can actually build up in your system as you rinse it out. And it can eventually, if you do as much of this as I do. So what I do to clean this up is either I will use an inexpensive brush and throw it away, or I will get a bucket of water outside, rinse it in the bucket. I don't like putting this down my pipe just because, you know, what do you need? You don't need any more plumbing problems than you already have, right? Stacy said everything's better in a miniature, and if you know Stacy, she is fun sized. So yes, Stacy, that is very true. Everything is better in miniature. You're absolutely right. So what I'm going to do is I will let these dry, and then I will come back and do a second coat, especially on this one. I'm not too worried on the tin cans, and then I will hit them with some of my metallics, And what we will do is, I'm waiting for Stacy to get on me about the whole fun size joke. And then I will show you guys, I will put up on the Miss Lillian's page the final products. Obviously, the cans are going to be done before the pots are, but I just wanted to give you guys some quick and inexpensive ways that if you want to upcycle, recycle, or you just hate throwing stuff away, or you want, I know that gardening is very, very expensive when you're starting out, and you know, the commercials say you must have this and this is the product. You have stuff all around your house that you can start your seeds in and indoors, and that you can save yourself some money. And like, again, the Miss Lillian's is not toxic, is not toxic. It's non-toxic. It's not toxic. So, my lovelies, I thank you guys for hanging in there with me today. Hopefully, I will be back in my studio next week. We planned on getting in there yesterday, but life kind of got in the way. Remember, there is a sale going on right now. The coupon code is in the description up above, or if you're on YouTube, I think the description, it's in wherever the description is on whatever platform you're on. The code is in there for 15% off this month. And guys, I will see you guys next week. Be sure that you are checking out all of the Miss Lillian's creators. They are doing some absolutely amazing things. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Much love, you guys.